Hey everyone, it's Yash and welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'll be sharing with you 2 life lessons that I took from the book The Alchemist, written by Paulo Coelho. I hope I'm pronouncing the last name correctly. Excuse me if I'm not, Paulo, but your book was amazing. I'm so glad that I was able to read it. First of all, I know this book, The Alchemist, is a very popular book. I know a lot of people have read it before, but it was recently introduced to me by my brother and I decided to give it a read, and I'm so thankful that I did. It was a really short read. I think I read it in about 2 days, but some of the lessons that I got from the book were invaluable. I wanted to share with you the 2 lessons that I took from it, and I think the best way to describe them are from 2 quotes from the book. The universe will be with you if you follow your personal legend. That's quote number 1. And quote number 2, if you settle and don't follow your personal legend, you will stop receiving omens to follow it, and you will hate yourself for not following it. Quote number 1, which is the universe will be with you if you follow your personal legend. This one is so special to me because I think I see in the modern society and just within my peers that I see a lot of my own peers that have stopped following their dreams, stopped following their intuition, and kind of conformed to what society has kind of wanted them to be. And it's important to kind of have a balance of like always, following your dream, but also having a little bit of stability and balance. But I think people have gone too far where they have veered so far away from ever trying to go for their dreams that they just end up being in this safe and secure place that they never actually go out and try to go for their dreams. And I think for me, one of the cool things about life is being able to live it to the best experience and also being able to live it to its fullest extent. And for me, the only way to kind of get close to that is by going for your dreams, going for your passions, and trying to live those passions out, whether that is starting a YouTube channel, starting a podcast, starting a website, going for that big career change that you never thought was possible, but just taking those steps to kind of do it. Because in the book, you realize that, life is short. And if you don't go out and follow your personal legend, which is your intuition, your heart, your desire, if you don't go out and follow that, you'll basically be you're wasting your life away. And I think, like I said, it's important to have balance, but I think it's still so important to kind of follow your heart and follow your heart and go for what your heart tells you and your personal legend, and follow that as much as you can. Because as you see in the book and as you see in real life, when you kind of follow your intuition and you put in the work and, you just keep following your personal legend, stuff will kind of align with you in terms of building up the bridges or building up the steps to accomplish those goals. And you'll never be able to do it unless you take that first step and follow your personal legend. The second quote, which is, if you settle and you don't follow your personal legend, you will stop receiving omens to follow it, and you will hate yourself for not following it. This one really resonated with me because, like I said in the previous example, everyone kind of has their personal legend that they should follow. And if they don't follow it, you kind of run into this obstacle, which they said in the book, that there was a certain farmer or basically a jewelry maker, a jewelry seller, and he had his own dream of basically making a trip to Mecca and being able to fulfill that destiny. And he always dreamed about it. And the young boy in the book mentioned, why didn't you ever go out and try to experience it? And he said that the dream of it just kept him alive and kept him going. And in the book, the little boy, when he was going throughout his journey, he kind of made this decision where he was going to basically be settled and be okay with what the life he had. And basically the omens and such, they said that if you basically settle with what your life is right now, you're gonna hate yourself in the future for not going out and trying to accomplish your personal legend. And basically, as the years go by, you're gonna stop receiving the omens to kind of go do it. You're gonna stop receiving the intuition in your body and your feelings to go out and do it. And then you're basically gonna be in this position where you never ended up fulfilling your dream because you kind of settled for what life has right there at that moment. And I think this needs to be taken at a little bit of a balance, but this is such an important concept because if you don't follow your dream, I know so many people that if they don't follow their dream, in a couple of years, they're always going to look back and say, man, I wish I did that opportunity, or I wish I went out and, made a little bit more effort in this situation, or I wish I made a relationship with this person. And for me, I think all of us, we don't want to live and go into the future, the next 5 years of our life, and look back at our past 5 years and think, man, what if I did more? What if I followed my legend? What if I just accomplished more? And when that happens, you're going to stop receiving omens to basically go out and follow your personal legend. And it's basically, you're just going to be that jewelry store owner where you're just kind of looking in and just dreaming about it instead of actually being able to take the steps necessary to actually accomplish it. So for me, the quote number 2 is just so important because in the book, they also said that while you are on your journey for following your personal legend, yes, the end goal is super important, which is whatever the accomplishment is, whether it's a goal, whether it's a milestone or whatever. Accomplishing that is very important, but the book also exemplified, and the boy said it himself, that it is the journey and it is the stuff you learn from the journey which makes you able to accomplish your goal. It sets you up for the ability to go further beyond the initial goal you had. And if I were to quote something from the late Kobe Bryant, he mentioned that yes, he has achieved a lot in his career, and yes, the end, which was, you know, being able to have your jersey on the rafters, the impact he made was so special. He also made it a point to also mention that you have to appreciate the grind that you're going through, the day in, day out grind of accomplishing your goal, achieving your dreams, following your personal legend. Yes, it's going to be a grind, but if you take moments to kind of appreciate the grind, but also appreciate how much better you're improving, the improvement you're making in your personal development and your ability to achieve those goals, that's where the real success happens. That's where the real fulfillment will happen. It's not achieving so-and-so end goal. It's the steps you took to be able to achieve it, which is the most important part. And that to me is super important because I know we all have these really lofty goals, but sometimes we can get so goal-minded that we kind of forget to appreciate all the small wins and all the small steps that have happened to kind of help us get to those big goals. And that's something that's really important. I really enjoyed that the book kind of made an example of that. Overall, those were the 2 biggest quotes that stuck out with me. I mean, there's tons of other ones of many little life lessons in The Alchemist. I think everyone should just give it a read if you haven't. I know it's a super popular book, like I said before, but the little lessons that you can get from it kind of help you reflect back at your own life and kind of give you that inspiration and that, you know, that kick up the rear end of like, okay, maybe I need to do a little bit more. Maybe I need to kind of reevaluate where things are right now. And you'd be surprised at how a little fiction book like that was able to kind of kickstart your imagination and just get you inspired to do things. But that's why I always recommend that you read a fiction book here and there, because they are so valuable because of the imagination and the spurts of motivation that they can provide in some of the weirdest ways. But as I always say, if you like the video, please consider hitting the like button down below. It helps out my channel, helps it grow. And if you like the other content on my channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button down below as well.